Good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I'm here today because I did not get to come see y'all last night. There was a lot going on in the house. Listen, my kids have been home all week and they are going back to school tomorrow. So it was a lot of preparing. My youngest daughter, she had like 1,000 twists that I put in her hair. I put mini twists in her hair. Like 1,000 of them, honey. And it's taken a long time to take out. Okay, I'm still working on it today. Got to wash her hair and everything. And my oldest daughter, she did her own twist. So she's taking her hair out. We are getting ready for the week. So I just wanted to come in here. I almost didn't make it. Because I had in my mind I was going to wake up this morning. My name is Sharita, in case, I just started talking to y'all. So I guess I'll let y'all know I'm Sharita. Okay. And I'm going to be talking to you today about what kids do when they're trying to avoid work or they don't want to do work. Schoolwork, homework, classwork, what they do. Okay, so we can be aware of this and be proactive so we can help them get and stay on the right track. Okay, so anyway, I had in my mind this morning I was going to get up early in the morning because my kids, I've been waking them up like 8 o'clock. Okay, during the whole week because I didn't want them staying up very late and then waking up very late and the day kind of being all smushed together. So I've been having them up. I've been having structure. I'll tell you more later about that. And the structure and routine. I'm going to come back on and talk to y'all soon about that. So I didn't want them all over the place. I've been waking them up at 8 o'clock. But today I said I'm going to get up before them so I can get out the house, have some me time. I want to go to the store and get some stuff to make some juice, honey, and some salad, and just chill out. I've been home working, taking care of my kids and working all week. I was trying to get this little time. So I'm up early. And guess who wakes up? My youngest, my 6-year-old, Maya. She woke up at 6:15. The first time this whole week she wake up there. She didn't even wake up that early when it's time to go to school. I know that happened to y'all moms. I know y'all kids do that. Moms, dads, I know that y'all kids do that. When you want them to be in the bed, they wake up early. When you want them to get up and get to school, get dressed and everything so they can get to school, that's when they be trying to stay in the bed. But homegirl woke up, it's like a clock. When I had them when I was, when they were babies, they would be asleep. But as soon as I got my food, I'm ready to start eating. As soon as I put my fork in my plate, honey, they would wake up and start crying. So they know. Those my babies. So anyway, we're going to be talking about what kids do when they don't want to do schoolwork, classwork, or homework. And we're going to be aware of this so we can be proactive and keep them on the right track. Okay, so the first we got to understand why they do all these things. Okay, sometimes, it's two reasons. One, they may not feel confident in the work, being able to be successful when they do their classwork or homework. A lot of kids have fear of failure and they will avoid it at all costs because it doesn't feel good to them. Okay. And the other reason is they've been using these strategies to get away with and getting away with it for so long. So it's like a habit now. It could be something that's difficult for them or it could be something easy. This is just how, whenever it's time for them to do some schoolwork, they employ all these tactics and then they're able to not have to work as hard, get help, or not have to do it. Okay. So do we really want that for our kids? We don't. All right. So the number one thing, they're not in any order. But one of the things that kids do when they're trying to avoid work is, I've seen this 1,000 times, break the pencil point. So if you got pencil, your child's sitting down, you done got them to sit down, you got the work in front of them, you tell them to get to work, and then all of a sudden you see a pencil broken and they have to go sharpen the pencil. That's a stall tactic and it's a distraction. Okay, so I've seen kids do that a lot. All right. Another thing they do is actually use the bathroom. They don't always be having to use the bathroom. It's just, I don't want to do this right now. So I'm asking you to use the bathroom so I can get up and leave. And then again, it's to stall it, to avoid it or push it off as long as possible, and then cause a distraction. So breaking the pencil point, asking to use the restroom, welcome if you're just joining, asking for help before they even look at the work. If your child is used to asking for help at home with you and at school, you gotta break them out of that habit, because they don't always need help. As a matter of fact, in my tutoring coaching program, my students aren't even allowed to ask for help, and they come in at all different levels. They may genuinely be stuck, or in their minds. So I teach them how to get unstuck. Okay, they may be feeling like they're stuck or they don't know what to do at that point. But they still, if they're in a habit of asking for help all the time, they will never look at that work. They will never connect with it. They will never understand. Sometimes the answer is really easy. Sometimes it's right in front of their face. Sometimes they got to figure it out. But in any event, they have to connect with the work in front of them. But if they're used to asking for help, that's a way to stall, put it off, and put something in between themselves and the work. Okay? So that's another thing they do when they don't want to do the work. Okay? The next thing is get out of the seat without permission. A lot of kids get out of their seat, walk across. Oh, I forgot this. Oh, I need to get this. Okay, I used the bathroom. They actually used the bathroom, or they may drop something on the floor, and then they on the floor trying to get it, or they may get on the floor. You understand what I'm saying? All of these things to avoid doing their work because they don't want to do it. Sometimes we think, oh, my son has trouble focusing. That's why I need to be there to help them. We don't understand what the purpose of getting distracted is. I'm not saying that your child may have some trouble focusing, and that's, I teach my students we have to teach them how to focus and concentrate, right? But you have to understand, like, when do they become most unfocused? When are they focused? When are they not focused? Whenever they are doing something they don't want to do, really that focus issue is on blast. It's on high. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we want to kind of look beyond my child is unable to do it to what is the function of this behavior right now. Okay? So definitely getting really distracted. Another one is pretending to fall asleep. I have a student in my program right now who does that. I've had students over the years that they have learned that if they fall asleep, then they don't have to. It's another stall tactic. It's another way to get away from doing the work. And now you're focusing on keeping them awake instead of them focusing on doing their work. So here's how we do it. Like, here's how you know. Again, if you're doing if your child is doing an activity that they like, do they fall asleep? And they feel confident in, do they fall asleep? If they fall asleep, like say is when it's time for them to do writing. If they fall asleep every single time, it's not so much that they are so tired. It's really, I don't like this writing. If you see a pattern, it's about the writing, okay? So these are some of the things that kids do when they are trying to avoid doing the work. So how do we take care of this? Because this is really, all of these things can really get in the way of their academic progress, their academic success. Because you can't be focused, you can't be learning if you're doing all of this at the same time. It really gets in the way, and that's why they do it, okay? So the first thing you want to do is and we always talked about that structure. That structure is it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that structure is so important. That's why I talk about it all the time. So if your child has a problem with breaking the pencil, you have a backup, and then you have to talk to them before it. Make sure your pencils are sharpened. Okay, make sure that your pencil point don't break. If your pencil point breaks, then this is the consequence. Do you understand what I'm saying? You're going to write about how to make sure your pencil point stays on throughout the whole, when you're studying, during your free time. You understand? Put something in place where they're like, oh, that's accountability. Now make sure it's a good pencil, a good quality pencil though, because there are some pencils that are very low quality and they'll break anyway. And this pencil is my favorite one. I've been using this for years. I have my students use it for years. The Dixon Ticonderoga. It's the other way around. You can't really do it like that. So this is my favorite pencil. I learned that a long time ago when I was teaching years ago. And I bought these pencils, and the student was responsible for handing these pencils out, and then another student was responsible for collecting them, and somebody had the job of keeping them sharpened, because we're going to eliminate that nonsense. You understand what I'm saying? So make sure you have a plan in place, a structure in place with the pencil. There's expectation that we're not going to have this pencil breaking situation. Another one is actually use the restroom. Make sure you use the restroom before, and that's something really important. I always stress to my students. Like you will go through all my students, you know, my different groups, because I teach from 3 years old all the way up to high school. And you will go through all my students. You will go a whole month, and somebody will actually use the bathroom. Well, nobody will actually use the bathroom. It's somebody that I have to work with them on that when they come in. They have an issue, and then we get that taken care of. It's not an issue. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's the requirement. Use the bathroom before you go to class. If you want to use the bathroom during class, you really got to go, but you're going to lose points because you need to be focused. You're going to be here the whole entire class, okay? The next one, asking for help. My students are allowed to ask for help. They are, when I give the assignment, there's no talking. Eyes on your paper, pencil moving. You completely focus on your work. And when we finish, you give me what you have, okay? And I have certain requirements for what they need to be doing, how to do their work, right? But let's see where you are. Let's see what you were able to figure out. Let's see your level of understanding when you did it by yourself. Then that way I know how to coach them. I don't teach them first. I don't help them. I have them do something, and then I look at it with them and have them talk to me about it. I have them read their work out loud. I have them solve a problem out loud to me, a math problem, and then I coach them. But that does not happen until you do the work. So have the requirement that your child does the work first. Do the work first. Have that requirement. They have to do it first. In order to get them to function independently, they have to do the work. Okay? So that eliminates that asking for help nonsense. Because kids don't really need help all the time. And what they don't need help. They need coaching. They need to figure out what do I know? What was I able to do? And where was my challenge? And then they need to be able to overcome that challenge. And that's how they're supposed to do it. That's coaching. That's not help. We're not helping. Okay? And then the next one, pretending to fall asleep. You got to discuss that before, and there has to be some kind of consequence linked to that. And for me, I'm like, okay, when you come to my class and you sleeping during class, this is my time, so I'm gonna take away your time. We'll have a conversation with your mama afterwards. During your chill time later, I'm going to ask her to have you do this and this and this. So what would you rather do? Do it now in my class, or do it later when you want to chill? I will come for their free time, okay? Don't take my time, honey. This is my time. This is Miss Sharita time, all right? All right? So whatever your consequence is, make sure that they're accountable. And talk about this stuff before they even get, it has to be something that they know and they hear all the time, and they even have to say themselves. The structure and the requirements and the expectations have to be there before they even start sitting down to do their work. And that goes for in school as well. Talk to your child's teacher about what her expectations are, and talk to your child about and talk about it in front of the teacher and what your expectations are for your child to be doing their work in school, and have that be a regular conversation. Okay, the structure has to be the biggest thing. After the structure, then you can focus on the learning. I'm telling you, the structure is first. If a child comes into my program and they're not sitting, they're not focusing, they're trying to get out of their seat, when it's time for them to write, they only write 1 or 2 sentences, I assess all of that, then the most important, they're learning while we're going along, but the most important thing to me is the structure, getting that structure in place. Once they get used to my structure, they're going to learn everything. Understand this too. You can't teach your child, if you're trying to teach your child or grow your child academically, you can't do it with all these behaviors in the way at the same time. So you have to have a behavior plan, and you have to have that structure in place, and then you can teach them. Over time, your child will be learning, but over time, what you want to see the most progress in is the structure. Are they able to sit? Are they ready? Are they ready when it's time for them to write? Are they doing their work independently? Are they waiting their turn to speak? Are they checking their work? You want to see that. And then once that's in place, honey, that they got to go on to break a door and so do you. Okay? So now what I want to do is I'll give you a little bonus. We talked about what kids do, and we talked about what the structure, how to put that structure in place. But I'm going to give you a little bonus, y'all, because I'm feeling good today. I've been in the house all week. You understand? I narrowly escaped this morning because my youngest daughter was up early. My husband's home too, and my oldest daughter, so she's good. I didn't just roll out the house and leave her there looking crazy, okay? You understand what I'm saying? I kindly gave her a big hug and kiss, told her to use the bathroom, I ushered her back into the bed, then I snuck out. And man, I was trying to sneak out so quietly and quickly that I put on my oldest daughter jacket, coat by accident. I was halfway on and I realized this is not my coat. And I haven't been that size since back in my Slim Jim days. You understand what I'm saying? I had the wrong coat on. All right? I had to put her coat back, to drop the hanger, had to pick that up and try to sneak out, causing all this ruckus. Put my coat on and snuck out and got in the car and drove off. Why am I doing all that sneaking? Well, because I want my daughter to wake up and be like, where are you going? Can I come? And all that other stuff. I wanted to just go, have her be resting, everybody's still rested, and have this is the best time. So I'm feeling really good. So I'm about to hit y'all with a bonus. Are you ready for the bonus? Okay. On this Sunday, on the day before the kids are going back to school. Okay, holidays coming up. All right, so the first one we already said. So this is a bonus. How to get your child to want to do the work. All right. Now it's not just how to get your child to stop trying to avoid work. It's how to get them to want to do the work, being motivated to do the work. Okay, and I'll use my student, one of my high school students. He's in the 10th grade, and he's from Queens, Jamaica, in New York. Last night, well, all my students have, except the 2 earliest groups, they all are learning how to study and then take quizzes. Okay, and the quizzes are on form. Miss Hannah, administrative assistant, she creates the quizzes on Google Forms. You can do that too. And they all take the quizzes, and then afterwards I check the quizzes and I review it with them. They get to see what their score is, and then our goal is to beat your last score, study again, read the story again, retake the quiz, and beat your last score, and keep going till you hit 100, because we love hundreds, we love A's. And then when somebody gets 100, we send out a mass email to everybody to celebrate them. So this is the process of what we've been doing. It's been very effective. So my student yesterday was after we did algebra, we studied algebra. So now going back and he's going to retake his quiz. Before I get to that, I had him. I'm trying to remember what I had him do first. I assessed something, one of his goals, because they all have behavior goals, literacy goals, and math goals. So I assess them all the time and have them practice. But he said to me, he said, Miss Sharita, you told me to write my 9 times tables down last night. And I said, yes. And I said, oh, are you ready to drill? He said, yeah. So he brought it to me. You understand? So I said, all right. I told him to stand up and turn around and then do your 9 times tables. So he's standing up and he's doing the 9 times tables. He's concentrating, he's focused, he's trying to get all of them. He did great. So now I was like, all right, now do your 8s. So he's doing his 8s. He wasn't exactly prepared for that. And I told him when it was one that he had a little trouble with, he had 3 chances to get it right. And then when he got it right, he had to go write it down and then start over. So we're doing drills. But he brought that to me. And then I went over his quiz with him and told him what his score was. And again, your job is to beat your last score. And last time when he did the vocabulary quiz, he got a 60. So see, your job is to reach that 60, beat 60. You gotta do better than 60 this time. And then you're going to keep going till you hit 100. So he did it. He got 90 this time. And he said, oh man, I was trying to get that 100. So he's self-motivated. He wants to do it. He's listening. He's like, all right. And then before he's saying, the other student is saying, so can I take the quiz now? So you want me to do the quiz now? They had a reading comprehension quiz. They had that quiz and they had a writing assignment. Okay. And last night, his classmate, my other student, she's also in the 10th grade. I was going through the quiz and reviewing his writing with him. And then it was time to go. She's like, Miss Sharita, I know you're not going to leave without going over my work. That's what she said to me. Now, we were meeting the next day, but she did not want to wait, okay? So she was in the middle of uploading her writing, and she wanted my feedback, okay? She's like, okay, so basically what I need to do, right? What I need to do to improve this, what I need to do to get a higher score is ... I'm like, yeah, you got it. And she's like, okay. So this is self-motivation. This is them not running away from doing quizzes, which is what they were doing originally, which they do. This is what they do in school. They're running away from the quiz. They're running away from the test. They are looking forward to their test. They're asking if they can take it. You know what I mean? They're doing all of that. How do we get them to a point where they want to do it? Or my students that are like, can we do sight words today? Because they have to read over 300 sight words, learn how to read over 300 sight words so they can get promoted. Can we do sight words today? Yay, I love sight words. You know what I'm saying? All right, so now we're going to do this and this, but then y'all going to do y'all quiz. Yes! How is this happening? How did we go from running away from quizzes, not wanting to do it, feeling nervous about quizzes, to being motivated to do quizzes, being motivated to do their work? I'm going to tell you how. You can incorporate this at home. All right? The number one thing I already said, put a structure and expectations in place before they start. Kids need a structure and they want it. I don't care how much they fight. They don't know no better. Yeah, come on, man. We got to understand that we focus too much on what the kid is complaining about or upset about in the moment, and we don't look at the overall big picture. They want the structure. They want somebody to be like, hey, man, you better get it together. And this is what you need to do, and it better be done. They want somebody to do that. I'm trying to tell y'all. They respond so well when they get it together, because they start to feel successful. They start to feel more secure, and that makes them feel safe. You understand what I'm saying? They go from not being able to do something and being afraid of it to looking forward to it, because now they feel successful. Now they've overcome their fears. And that only happens when you put that structure in place and you have that expectation. You let them know this is how it's going down and get it together. So you have to put that structure in place that we talked about in the beginning. That's first. Next, they have to, you have to get them to work independently. You have to. Because when they work independently and when they figure things out and they start to be able to figure things out, then they start to feel successful and they start to want to do it more. But they never have that time where they have to work by themselves and they always have somebody next to them. That's like having crutches and always needing crutches all the time. So if you take the crutches away, now the kid feels like he's going to fall and not be able to walk. That's not what we want. We don't want them to feel like they are not able to do it unless somebody is there. So you have to get them to function independently. Hey, honey, how you doing? How you doing? Long time. How's everybody doing? Are we talking about a good one today? Let me tell you, Nate, we're talking about a good one today. What kids do to get out of doing work. Then we talked about what structure to put in place. And then a bonus, because I'm feeling good today, is how do we get them to want to do the work? Look for you and ask you to do the work, okay? That's what we're talking about today. But yeah, let me know how everybody doing. All right, so get them to work independently. Next, review their work with them. A lot of times kids, two things wrong with kids handling assignments and then not getting the review afterwards. Number one, they never know what they did right and what they did wrong, or what they wasn't able to accomplish. They never know. And then they just focus on the grade. So if they felt something, right, and they just learned that they failed it, they're not focused and they're not connected to what they did and say, okay, I did good here, but I had trouble here. There's no plan. There's no solution. There's just, I failed it. The kids will run away from that. You understand? So for them I started this when I was teaching my first class. It's a special education class. It was mostly boys and one girl. And I had them do classwork. I had them do writing. I had them take quizzes. I had them all that stuff. But then I had everybody sitting down and focusing on an assignment. I would call them up one by one and I would give them individual coaching. I would show them, okay, look, you got a higher score this time than you did last time, or this spelling test than you did the last spelling test. Look, you almost got this word right. You just had this letter, one of the letters is in the wrong place. Can you see what letter it is? You understand? They're able to look and see, and they get to know themselves. They get to know themselves as far as how they learn, what they're able to do. You understand what I'm saying? And where their challenges are. They get to know themselves. That's one of the benefits of reviewing their work with them. The other benefit is now they can learn, what can I do to improve? That's where the coaching comes in. What can I do to improve to do better next time? So when you do that, let me tell you, my students were eager to come up and sit with me and get that one-on-one. They don't get one-on-one all the time. They did a lot of, and my students now too, they do a lot of independent work. They have to do the work first before I even talk to them about their work. If it's not done, I'm skipping you and I'm coming back. Cause I can't coach you like that. I don't know what you know and what you don't know or nothing. You got to give me something. You understand what I'm saying? Right, Nate? We got to give you something. You got to give me something. All right? All right. So the first thing is put the structure in place. Next, get them to work independently. Next, review and coach them, honey. They love it. They love it. They love it. Next is set a goal. Okay? Which is what I was doing and what I'm doing with my quizzes. My students keep going till they get 100. You see the progression. 40 points the first time when they first started taking the quizzes, and they could be devastated, and that'd be it. But they got to look at it and they got to see what answers they did get right and what the requirements are for them to get the other ones correct. I don't tell them the answer at all. Okay? We set a goal for getting a higher score the next time. So you don't have to be perfect, but you have to get a higher score. You got to beat this one. Okay? All right? And that's another one of the the ways to get them to want to do the work. You got to challenge them. Man, you got to challenge them all the time. You got to always give them a challenge. Always tell them, so this time you got a 70. Now, a lot of kids will be like, oh, 70, I passed. That's good. No, not the Morgan Unlimited Growth Institute. We don't do that. We're going to keep going until we hit that 100. And now that, like my student last night, my high school student, he got a 90. He's like, oh, man, I was really trying to get that 100. That's what we want. And he's going to get it. Because every time he takes the quiz, he gets my feedback. He's able to look at his quiz. And he's able to then retake it after he gets ready, study again, so he can get that 100. So that's very, very important. We have to challenge them. We have to, but the thing is, they're being equipped, they're being coached, they're learning as they're going along. They're learning about themselves and what and how, what's holding them back even. So it may be, I just got to study, but it may be, like I was telling my student last night, like you have a block, this, but when you have the problem, the algebra problem in front of you, you have a block up because you think you can't do it. So your job is, so the reason why you are having trouble with this is two reasons. One is lack of focus. The other one is lack of confidence. So when it's time for you to do this math next time, what I want you to do, if you start to doubt yourself, replace what you're saying. I don't know, this is hard. Replace it with this. Okay, I got this. I'm going to figure this out. Okay? And remove the block. And then focus in. So when you talk to them about, oh, this is what I do that's holding me back. This is what I usually do that makes me get the answer wrong, or I can't even see the correct answer because I'm so focused on the wrong things. When they start to learn that about themselves, then they are motivated to do the work. And like, okay, all I gotta do is fix this. Okay, so I'm going to follow what you're saying so that I can remove this block so that I can get it right next time. And he did. And then he was like, boom, 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 everything, every question he was getting correct. They love it, okay? So what it all boils down to is kids do not want to feel failure, right? They don't like, and who does? Like, for real? Who likes to try to do something and fail over and over and not get any better at all and not learn from it either? You understand what I'm saying? Not learn from it and not have a plan for what you're going to do the next time to get better. Who wants to do that? And children are not equipped to deal with failure like we are. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to teach them that when they're young. We have to teach them that. That's what it all boils down to. That's why they're running from work. It's because they don't feel successful when they do work, and they also have learned to avoid doing it by using these behaviors, and they've gotten away with it all this time. Okay? And another thing is they believe that they can't do it. All right? So when you put these things in place, then and take this stuff away and start to replace it with success, many successes along the way to the big success, the structure they need so they can't have any excuses no matter how mad they are because blah blah blah. I don't care about that mess, okay? I don't, y'all. I really don't care about that mess. I take take all the excuses away. I put the structure in. I take off the training wheels. It's time to get to we gotta raise the expectations, okay? So those two things are the reasons why they're running away from work. Just put the structure in. Let's help them become successful. Help them learn about themselves, and let them know they don't have to be perfect. They just gotta get better each time. That's it. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to keep getting better. Every time you do it, and I tell them this, because they might not believe it when they first, they probably don't. I said, this is what I told my student last night. When he figured it out, I said his name. And he said yes. And I said, you did good. You did a great job. He said, thank you. I said, you're welcome. I said, you know what? You're going to master this. I said, you got to keep doing this. And each time you do it, it's going to be easier. You're going to understand it more. And then it's going to be so easy. You're going to master this algebra here. You understand me? And he's like, yeah. He believed me. So they don't know. They can't do that themselves. Yeah, not kids. We have to do it for them. You understand? So that's it, y'all. I'm about to go to the store, which is what I originally intended to do. But I said, let me roll over here. And I got to see my friend, Miss White, over here. Let me roll over here and sit in this car and talk to people. All right? So I'm going home. I'm going to get to the store. So I'm about to get some celery and some ginger. No, I don't know what celery, actually. Some ginger and some apples and some beets, because I'm about to make some juice when I get in the house. And I'm going to get all the things I love to put in a salad. All right? And I'm going to make sure I have a salad for the day. For me. Okay? I'm taking care of me. And I'm cook for the family. And take my youngest child, finish taking her hair out, wash it, get everything ready for school the next day. I'm not sure what I want to cook. I know the last time I cooked, I made some pinto beans, which is my favorite bean. Pinto beans, but I threw some mixed vegetables in there too. I'm trying to add more vegetables and stuff. We had brown rice and we had some fried chicken. Let me tell you, that fried chicken was off the chain. That was the best fried chicken I ever made. First time using peanut oil. It was so good. It was so good. They tore it up. Okay? So I'm not sure what I'm going to do tonight for dinner. But all I know is I got to get out the house. I got to hang with y'all for a little bit. I'm going to go to the store and pick up the stuff so I can have myself a nice drink. And then I'm going to have breakfast, which is, I've been eating sardines lately because they're so packed with nutrients. With onions. And then yesterday, and Hannah suggested this too, add some tomatoes to it. So I didn't have the plum tomatoes in the house that I like, but I had some canned diced tomatoes, added that. And I had that with grits and with eggs. It was so good. I had so much energy afterwards. It was amazing. So I have some left over today, so that's what I'm going to eat, all right? And then the kids, whatever they want to eat. But I'm saying all this to you to make sure that you design your day around your eating, around your exercise. Also woke up and did some squats. I feel very proud of myself. Design your day like you design your kids' day. Like, really make room for yourself. Not just, this is what the kids need, because they need a lot today. They need a lot today from me. But this is what the kids need. But also, what do I need today? What does my body need today? Okay, what kind of rest do I need today? What kind of exercise I need today? What do I need to eat? What kind of fuel do I need to put in for me today? Do that for yourselves. It's still early. It's Sunday. Write down what you want to do and take care of yourself. Then go take care of the kids. Love on them. Take good care of them. Have those expectations, right? Don't be afraid to guide them and expect from them. Because I'm telling you, they thrive off of it. They do so well. They do so well with expectations from us. That's what we're here for, all right? All right, I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Miss White, I'll talk to you soon, okay? Yeah, have a wonderful, wonderful day. Message me if you're looking for, I have some new students come in, but I still have some availability. Message me if you're looking for a tutor, and I'm a tutor and a coach, to tell you the truth. I tutor my students academically, but I also coach them behaviorally at the same time. Because like I said, not much learning going on if you're acting out or not focused, or you have these mental blocks or these beliefs that you can't do better. So we got to take care of all of it at the same time. Holla at your girl. Visit me, send me a message, or visit me at growthinstitute.mykajabi.com for more information. You can book a free consultation from there. All right. Believe in yourself, believe in your child, honey, and always remember that growth is unlimited. Peace.